It's Eric here, and I am probably the worst YouTuber out there. I am so sorry that my videos have not been regular. I've been busy out there doing all this stuff, and sometimes when you're out there doing this stuff, it's hard to remember to actually record and talk about it. On today's video, we're going to talk about kind of crypto and some of the news that came out today. And I know, and I've done some unpopular crypto videos before, but we have a limited amount of time on this cryptocurrency stuff, and I'll explain why. Before, please like, share, whatever, comment on the channel below. I love to interact with people and hear with what's going on out there. All right, on to crypto and some of the news that came out today. I am a fan of the technology in general, but long-term holding of this technology, and I think that one day everything's going to be electronic, crypto-dependent thing. With the things that we have going on today with NFTs and Bitcoin and things like that, I don't believe those will be the ultimate, end all going, things that we'll be using out there. And, I just think of the things of like pets.com and Ask Jeeves and, all of the old search engines and all of the stuff of the .com boom. We all knew that they were going to be a thing, but they were the next generation. The Googles of the world, the Bings of the world became the standard, and the rest of them have faded into kind of nothingness and nowhere land. And so I keep my old garage sale bought 1200 baud modem to remind me and to keep me reminded that crypto that we are using right now is a limited time thing, and it's great for trading. But holding it long term is like holding this modem long term. It is definitely worth less and not very usable like it was 30 years ago when I got it at a garage sale and was doing bulletin board systems dial-up stuff. And so kind of explain what happened today and the news that came out. And so Bitcoin specifically is based on an SHA-256 hash encryption. And today it's very secure. It came out in the early 2000s. The NSA used it. Like, it is like the gold standard of encryption. And as far as everybody knows, it's pretty unbreakable. And by the time you could potentially break it, the amount of time it would take, a new key is generated and that old key is worthless. And that old key is worth something for anywhere from an hour to a day, depending on the transactions and things like that. Some news came today, and I've linked the article down in the description, that if you look at where IBM is and some of these other companies, it's under 10 years before they're going to have quantum computing able to break the 256K SHA hash and encryption, and be able to do it to where it's good within, a couple of minutes to an hour, which means you could take that key and you could hack basically today's Bitcoin. And so let's go back to a time when IBM had the mainframe, and where we're going with quantum computing. It's like when everybody else was using pen and pad and paper in the 70s and 80s, and you had these big companies that had mainframes and they could do all these calculations, and everybody else was using pad and paper. That is where we're going back to with regular computing. Is going to be like pad and paper, and everybody's got it. And then you've got quantum computing, which is so much faster and so much more efficient. That's going to be the difference. And only big names, big companies, big governments are going to have access to this for the time being. And so that's where we get into distribution and distributed currency and all these other distributed technologies. It's all about having a computer at all these sites and all having fairly equal access and distributing that out everywhere. But if you've got a few superpowers, whether they're businesses or governments, that can break this, you'll lose confidence. And and so these things will go away and they'll go down because they're no longer secure. And so the prediction came out today, 10 years. We've got 10 years before these quantum computers can break today's encryption. And so all the experts are like, well, we just need to make changes to the chain. We just need to improve it. The problem is cryptocurrency as a whole, specifically Bitcoin, is so slow and inefficient compared to, say, like Visa. Visa does millions of transactions in the amount of time that it takes to do one transaction of Bitcoin. Everybody's just like, well, we'll just do it with heavier encryption. The problem is heavier encryption on the regular computer level is just going to make it even slower and less efficient, which then has its own new things. And if it's slower and less efficient, people aren't going to want to use it. And it's also going to be, create new issues with quantum computing and hacking. So again, unpopular, but I think we have to keep into realization. Everybody's like, "Oh, I'm going to hold crypto to the moon. There's only so many Bitcoin. It's going to be worth something." But the problem is, as soon as that encryption is broken, it's going to be worth nothing because people can steal it. People will be able to steal wallets. People will be able to hack the chain. So I, again, huge fan of overall crypto, Bitcoin, NFTs, all of this stuff. But those people that are like, "I'm going to hold it forever to the moon," just remember, technology is always changing. I mean, can you imagine surfing the internet on this 1200 baud modem? I mean, no. I mean, it's not possible. That is going to be what it's like having Bitcoin in a quantum computer world. It's just you just kind of like, well, this is the dumbest thing ever. I think in 20 or 30 years we're going to be like, oh wow, imagine those people out there holding Bitcoin are going to be those people out there holding Yahoo and pets.com stock, and we're going to be like, that was just insane. So keep it healthy. And keep in mind that this isn't something that's going to be around forever, not in its current state anyway. And if you can keep that healthy relationship with cryptos of today, I think you can do well. Trade them, use them, things like that. But don't buy them and shove it in a closet and expect that in 30 years it's going to be worth more than than anything else that you could do today. So sad, but definitely welcome and realistic truth that came out. We've got about, again, less than 10 years before this crypto stuff is going to be at the mercy of quantum computing, and it's coming. You can read up on the quantum computing and the progress they've made over the last 5 to 10 years. It's following Moore's law to where it's doubling capacity and it's increasing, and that's where they came out with this calculation in this article. So anyway, that's kind of some notice. Hopefully, again, not trying to change anybody's view or mind or any of this, but just have a healthy realization that technology changes. It's not like gold. It's not like silver, where it's something that's usable, that's been around for a millennia. It's something that somebody else will come out with a better mousetrap, and they have to. Otherwise, somebody else's will design something that will just really invalidate or make something else inferior. Again, back to my modem thing, put it on my shelf, and it's just a reminder, this won't last forever. So anyway, hopefully that opens up a conversation. People are talking, people are thinking, and use it for what it is, and enjoy it for sure. So hopefully that helps out there. Again, please like, share, subscribe, whatever you want to do with my channel. Again, I'm going to work on doing more videos since I've got a studio now that we built as part of one of my investment projects, and we'll be going through some of this other stuff. So anyway, I'd love to hear your comments and see what you've got going on in the comments below. Thank you for tuning in, and have a good day.